Welcome to the Tech Mind Factory video blog. I'm super excited that you visited my channel. I hope you will find this video helpful and interesting. If so, please subscribe at the end because this will be the sign for me to produce more videos. And now, enjoy watching. This is another video from my series Be a Better Azure Developer. In this video, I would like to show you how to secure a solution built on the Azure cloud with Azure Active Directory Business to Customer, so Azure B2C. And for those of you who are not familiar with this service, I prepared a brief introduction. And then we will jump into some interesting demo and overview of this service. Okay, let's start. So what is Azure Active Directory B2C? Azure Active Directory Business to Customer is Identity as a Service. And let's stop here for a minute. Try to imagine that you would like to secure your solution. Building your own custom identity service can be a big challenge. How you will secure all the user accounts, how you will store passwords, how you will provide multi-factor authentication, how you will verify identity, how you will detect some issues, how you will detect some broken functionalities. This can be a really big challenge to properly secure your solution built on the Azure cloud. That is why it's good to use some services available in Azure to secure your solution. And one of such services is Azure Active Directory B2C. So with Azure Active Directory B2C, you can securely authenticate your customers using their preferred identity providers. So for instance, I can use my Microsoft account to sign in, but also I can sign in with Facebook, Twitter, or Google. And of course, we can use some other identity providers because Azure B2C also works together with OpenID Connect and other protocols. You can also capture login, preference, and conversion data for customers. You can provide branded white label registration and login experience. So try to imagine that you can create a login page and registration page that is aligned with your company branding. This is really powerful service in Azure. So let's see some capabilities of Azure Active Directory B2C. As I mentioned before, you can create custom branded identity solution. So every page displayed in the B2C, so like sign up, sign in, or edit profile, can be customized because you have access to HTML and CSS files, together with JavaScript, of course. So as you can see, here is an example of a custom branded page of sign in and sign up. And of course, as you can see, also there are external identity providers available, so Google, Microsoft, and Facebook. As I also mentioned at the beginning, Azure B2C also works with external identity providers because of support for standard-based authentication protocols, including OpenID Connect, OAuth 2.0, and SAML. So, for instance, you can enable your users to sign in with Twitter account and still access some of the functionalities inside your solution. Another great feature of Azure B2C is called progressive profiling. So try to imagine that you have to collect some data about the profile of the user, but you do not want to collect it at once. So every next sign-in of the user, you can collect more data about the user. So at first sign-in, you collect email, phone. On the next sign-in, you collect birth date, and then you can collect some additional properties related with user. So that's really powerful. And of course, you can integrate with external user stores. So it's not like you have to only store users in Azure B2C. So B2C can facilitate collecting the information from the user during the registration or profile editing, and then it can hand that data off to external system. So it's also very important if you have some data restrictions or you would like to provide a custom store for users, it's also available with the Azure B2C. And again, another capability is third-party identity verification and proofing. This is really powerful and cool feature about the Azure B2C. So let me put an example. During the registration or sign-in of the user, you would like to check some additional data. You would like to check some additional properties of the user. But these properties, attributes of the user are stored in the external system. So you can have like REST API that provides this information about the user. So what you can do, you can integrate this REST API with Azure AD B2C, and during the registration of user, you can pass some information to the external system, so to the API. You can store this data in the external system and then register user in the Azure B2C. Another example can be if you, when there is a scenario where user signs in, you can call external API to get additional attributes related with user and insert those attributes in the JWT token at the end. So this is really powerful feature because you can integrate B2C with external systems. Okay, great. So that was an overview of Azure B2C capabilities in short. I also encourage you to check official documentation. The link will be included in the video description. But right now I would like to show you Azure B2C in action and how to integrate it with web apps and also desktop apps, how to use the Azure portal to manage Azure B2C options. So let's see it. This is Azure AD B2C tab in the Azure portal. I've already created tenant and I encourage you to check documentation how to do it. There are simple steps how to create it and then you are ready to go. So my tenant is called cleanarchdev.onmicrosoft.com. On the left side I have some options to select related with B2C. So let me start with the application registration tab here. Here I can register applications that will work with my AD B2C tenant. So some of them are like CleanArch Web API. So this is my web API I created and secured with Azure Active Directory B2C. There is also web application, so Razor Pages ASP.NET Core application secured by B2C. And also I've added Universal Windows Platform application here. I register it because I would like to show you also how to use UWP platform with Azure Active Directory B2C. There is also another tab, Identity Providers, and here you can add integration with external identity provider like Facebook, GitHub, Google or LinkedIn. Another section is called Company Branding, and this is a cool feature because here you can provide the branding of your company. So let me show you default branding I selected here and created before. So as you can see here in the Edit Company Branding, you can provide like for instance sign-in page background image. You can also provide banner logo. So as you can see here, I provided TechMindFactory logo, so my tech blog. And also there is advanced settings section, and here you can for instance change the background color of sign-in page here. So it's really cool because as you can see you can manage changing the branding here directly in the Azure portal. So I really encourage you to check that because it's really easily it's easy to use it. In the next section, user attributes, here we have all attributes that we can collect from users. And those are built-in attributes, but we can also add a custom attributes we would like to collect. So if I click add here, you can provide the name of the attribute, we can select the data type, and we can add description of this attribute. So it's really also cool that we have those attributes built in, and we can add additional if we need something more. And the section users will show you the registered users in your Azure Active Directory B2C tenant. Okay, so this is an overview of capabilities, but below there is also a section called policies, and we have user flows and identity experience framework. User flows is the simple way to configure authentication in your application and to secure your solution with Azure B2C without playing with some complicated XML files. So you can configure everything directly here in the Azure portal. So here I created a new user flow. I called it sign in or sign up. So I would like to create a flow for login and registrations for users. But when you click new user flow here, as you can see, there is a recommended tab, and you can create sign up and sign in flow, and it lets a user register or log in into their account. There is also user flow called profile editing, so you can let the user configure their user attributes. And there is also password reset, so you can allow users to choose a new password after verifying their email. And what is really cool, you can configure everything directly here in the Azure portal. So I've already selected sign up or sign in user flow, and it's available here. If I click it, you can see that here I can run this user flow, and I will do it in a minute. But before that, I would like to also go to the page layouts. In the page layouts here, as you can see, I selected page layout version to 1.2.0, and this will enable to use the custom layout I prepared before. So use my banner logo of my company, for instance. So I can click run user flow here. I will select application I would like to use. So let's say that this will be the web API in this case, and I can run this user flow. And as you can see, here is the login and registration page of my B2C tenant. And as you can see, here is my TechMine Factory banner logo. So I didn't use any HTML, CSS files, nothing like this. I just use Azure portal, I uploaded this banner image, and right now it's displayed on the login page. So this is really cool. And of course, this is available for you. You can start using it without playing with any XML or source code, as I mentioned before. And what is also worth to mention, that if you have more advanced cases, like you would like to integrate Azure B2C with your REST API to, for instance, get some attributes related with users that are stored in the external database, for instance, or on the login you would like to pass some attributes to your external system, it's good to use Identity Experience Framework. And Identity Experience Framework provides you some additional features, some advanced capabilities related with Azure B2C. So for instance, you can integrate Azure B2C with external systems. And again, here in the custom policies section, if I scroll down, there is custom policies section, and I can also customize the flow related with sign up or sign in or password reset or profile edit, as you can see. So if I click sign up or sign in, there will be exactly the same tab displayed as for user flows, and I can click run this flow to see the login and registration page here. So this is really cool because, as you can see, the default branding and also all those buttons, etc., everything is provided by Azure B2C. So you do not have to implement it on your own. Okay, great. So right now I would like to show you some code samples, some demo related with UWP application and web applications. So let's jump into the Visual Studio. There are 3 projects I created. UWP application, so Universal Windows Platform application integrated with Azure B2C. There is also ASP.NET Core Web API application and ASP.NET Core Web App Razor Pages. And today I would like to show you how I integrated Azure B2C with UWP application and with Web App Razor Pages. So let me start with UWP. I will right click on the project and select Manage NuGet Packages. I would like you to know that to integrate with B2C, I use Microsoft Identity Client Library. If you are not familiar with MSAL, so Microsoft Authentication Library, I encourage you to check official documentation. The link is provided in the video description. So, I've already installed Microsoft Identity Client package. So right now, let me launch the application to show you the user interface. Here it is, a sample logo and sign in button. When I click sign in here, as you can see, there is loading screen and there is a login page displayed from Azure B2C. And here I can provide my credentials, so I will provide email and password and I will click sign in. And what is also important to mention is the fact that you can enable multi-factor authentication in your Azure B2C tenant. So as you can see, I will have to provide email, password, but not only, because I have to also confirm with the code sent to my phone. So right now I received the code. I will just retype it and then I'm ready to go. So as you can see, authentication succeeded and I have token that I can use, for instance, to send requests to my web API. Okay, let's see the web app Razor Pages application and how it is integrated with B2C. Before I launch Razor Pages web app, let me show you the NuGet package I used here. So I will right click on the web app project, manage NuGet packages, and here the package I used is called microsoft.aspnetcore.authentication.azure AD B2C.ui. So this package enables you to authenticate using Azure Active Directory B2C. Okay, let me launch the web application right now. Here it is, my web application, and it's secured with Azure Active Directory B2C. At the top I have some tabs like Home or Privacy, and there is also a tab called Private Content. And this content is available only for the authenticated user. So I can click Private Content or click Sign In to sign in to the solution. So I will click Private Content, and as you can see, after a second, I'm redirected to B2C here. I have to provide my credentials here, type the password. I will click Sign In. And once again, as you can see, MFA is enabled, so I have to also confirm with the code that is sent with text message. So let me provide the code right now. And as you can see, I've successfully signed in. There is information that hello Daniel, so it's me. And there is my unique identifier from the B2C display. Of course, this was only a preview and there is a lot more features available with B2C to discover. I encourage you to check my Azure Developer Templates repository on my GitHub to see the source code of the applications I presented in this video, but also I encourage you to check official samples from Microsoft like this one. Enable your web apps to sign in users and call APIs with Microsoft Identity Platform for developers. Here in this repository you will find a great graph, so this image, and here are different scenarios how to use Azure B2C to secure your solution. So for instance, there is sample how to call Microsoft Graph. There is sample how to call your own API. There is sample how to provide authorization, how to sign in users. So if I click call your own API, I will be redirected to the source code on GitHub repository, and here are some interesting samples we can review and build our solution. If you are already familiar with basics of Azure Active Directory B2C and you look for some more advanced scenarios and samples, I encourage you to visit my blog techmindfactory.com. There you will find the series I created related with B2C. So there is article about how to use custom policies with custom claims, You will also find article how to integrate B2C with external service to get some claims, so in this case integrate B2C with Azure Functions. And you will also find article related with Azure Application Insights and how to integrate it with custom policies. All helpful links will be included in the video description. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you found it interesting and helpful. If you have any additional questions, do not hesitate to contact me either on Twitter or LinkedIn. And of course, I encourage you to visit my blog techmindfactory.com. See you in the next video.